everybody? Hope you're out there having a blessed and wonderful day. As always, remember two things. It's a good day to be alive, but an even better day to be great. So get up and get to the grind, whatever that may be.
For you.
Hey. All right, y'all. It's official here. Welcome to the Moon Show. You are now talking to the moon. All right, this is my first official podcast. I will have guests only in person. They might not be special guests to you, but they special to me. So I'm going to bring them here, and we're just going to have just a general conversation. There will be fights mentioned. There will be philosophy mentioned. There will be psychology. There will be business, entrepreneurship stuff type mentioned. But ultimately, it's just a lifestyle podcast, and we're going to get into the nitty gritty, and we're going to have some fun with it. So expect the unexpected, all right? So, Coqui, my man, what's good, baby? All right, we're going to address the first thing. So I told everybody to submit some questions on Instagram. And if y'all don't know, he said on a scale from 1 to 10, how'd you name that? Go ahead, tell people what you said.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how badly can I beat your ass?
On a scale from 1 to 10, how badly can you beat my ass? So we're going to go ahead and address that, all right? So, first of all, we've worked out together. You freakishly strong. Like, Lathan always tell me, yo, Coqui, he can really move some weight. And we're working out at the gym. We'll talk about the one time he tried to set me up. So we're working out at the gym, right? And we get on like shoulder press or whatever. And we got a little superset workout that we doing. And I go to the shoulder press. I'm kicking mine out. Obviously, how much you weigh?
218 today.
218 today. I weigh 160, 162 at max when I'm at my heaviest. I was probably about 158, 160 around that weight. And I'm doing mine. And I get on my last rep, and we're supersetting. So we're going from the shoulder press to something else, then a little break. And on my last one, I go to superset it, and I'm like, bro, this shit got heavy. This motherfucker put a whole nother plate on each side of the workout, the same color plate that we was using. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the way the guys fuck with each other. We were, I want to see this motherfucker get hurt, or if he can actually do the shit, right? So that was a little fun experience that we had in the gym. And yeah, as far as like freakishly strong, bro, like Lathan would tell me, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I want to see it. And then you started telling me your workouts, and I saw you in the gym, and I was like, some people are blessed, and you blessed, bro. So like, how'd you get into your whole gym life, your whole fitness? Obviously, you Puerto Rican, so you blessed in the sense of genetically that way. Yeah. How'd you get into your the fitness aspect, or where'd you get your strength from? Where do you derive your strength from, Samson?
The Lord.
The Lord.
So through sports.
Sports,
yeah, playing football, like. Just wrestling, just anything that, required you to get strong, you're going to have to get strong, you know what I mean? That's something I've always worked out. I always like to push that line, push my body. I've always trained with people like yourself who are just bring something to the table, or push me harder, or allow me to experience different movements with my body and stuff like that. So I've always been in that space, and I'm always challenging myself in a different way. And strength is just something I really enjoy. Like it feels
bro,
good. It feels good to be strong. You know what I mean?
It does. I when I first started martial arts, you hear the saying like, "Oh man, strength doesn't matter." That's bullshit.
It helps.
It helps. I tell people like, okay, if you're strong without technique, the person will have to have a certain level of technique. But me and Lathan talk about it all the time. Like, yo, it's a certain level where if you are freakishly strong, you can bridge that gap of technique, because there's certain things that there are probably a good 1% to 2% of people on the planet that certain martial arts just don't work for. Like the Mountain, the dude from Game of Thrones. Y'all saw him with Conor McGregor doing the striking and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but this guy ever gets a hold of you. Like an arm bar is not going to work on that dude. I love arm bars. 357 might work on that dude. Like, you got to shoot a man like that, all right? You can't just be...
That's not a fight.
Yeah, that's not a fight you want to have. There are certain people that are literally just built different.
Yeah, and like, you can pick me up, and like, that's a different kind of fight. You know what I mean?
That's a different kind of fight. So, yeah, just kind of circle around and address the question. I said on a scale of 1 to 10, he said, how badly can I beat you? Originally, I gave him a 3, because I said, all right, number one, he's strong as hell, so let's go ahead and give him a couple points. I said, give him 2 points for that, and I say he's Puerto Rican, but I'm Puerto Rican too, so my Puerto Rican crazy cancels out his Puerto Rican crazy, and then it left him at a 2. And you thought that was fair assessment?
Bro, that was respectful. I thought you was gonna flame me. I thought it was gonna be like a whole problem. Like I was like, okay. Because I would give myself 0. Like,
He's like,
you're a professional. You do this. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm looking for. You might just catch me. You might all these different forms of martial arts. Like,
yeah. Did you see the story I posted the other day where the dude came in and was like, jiu-jitsu won't work on me, come 200 pounds. Yes. I thought that was kind of funny because I'm 150 something pounds.
Right.
And I'm like, all right.
Quick too, just.
Yeah, and it was like maybe 15, 20 seconds. And you know what's crazy? So like I don't do that as like a, because look, if you're a pro athlete and you put videos of you out there scrubbing the ground with people who are untrained or amateurs, you trash. Let's just throw it out there. All right, and I always am like, hey, if I hit a cool move on a white belt, it don't matter. You hit a cool move on a blue belt, all right. Did you get on a purple belt? Another killer? Did you get on another dude who's also a trained pro? So that whole moment, I almost didn't post, and then I spoke with the guy, and I asked him personally. I said, hey, do you mind if I put this, And he had like the best attitude about it because awesome. He wasn't cocky like, this ain't gonna work on me.
He literally lacked experience and information.
Genuinely didn't know. And I want to give a shout out to one of my good friends who went to school for philosophy, John Choi. Y'all don't know him, but he was one of my really good friends and training partners at Mama. And there's a delusion going around. Every person or whatever has their own delusion, but there's a delusion going around for men, right? And this is a delusion. And my good friend, he was like, hey, look, men inherently think they're good at two things, F and F, fighting and fucking. And most of them ain't good at neither. Right? And so we always...
And it's humbling when you find out.
It's humbling because I don't think everybody understands. Unless you're a man, like, you don't understand what it's like to be a man. When you walk in a room full of other men, we're thinking, who can kill me? Yeah. That's a natural thought. I remember I told the girl I was dating one time, she was like, you walk in the room and think, who can kill you? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Who am I going to...
Highest level of threat assessed immediately, and then
Who in this room is going to give me the hardest time because I got to kill him first? Yeah. And then we shake hands. We lock eyes. Right. We both know exactly what the other one was thinking. And then...
You sense his key a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, okay, then like, you can talk about psychology, presence, the whole alpha male thing, but it's like, inherently, every dude on the planet, in some way... thinks he can fight. Yeah. With no experience. Facts. Like, oh, I got hands. I'm like, so does 99% of the population. He got hands, he got feet, we got the same thing. Yeah. So, like, when he said that, that's kind of like one of my little go-to, I always got little catchphrases and go-to lines, and I always do that, like, anytime, like, guys think they're inherently good at two things, and most of the time they're not good at either. So with that being said, can you fight? Not from a trained person, not from my perspective as a pro guy, as a professional fighter, but it like, are you street certified?
I'm ready.
I know you can pick a dude up and slam him on the concrete and it's over. But I'm talking about you, like you can throw them things.
Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
He ready.
We had some training. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in the sport of boxing, like just being a fan and family involved and training as a youth and all that stuff. And even out here in Warner Robins, I did a little bit. So I feel confident. Like definitely throw some hand. Kicking, that's another conversation. You know what I mean? Grappling, I feel good too a little bit. I don't have all the techniques and everything like that. But yeah, I know a rear naked. I know, what I mean? I can do a cross collar on something. You know what I mean?
Yo, if you on the street cross collar somebody, get a stand a black belt. Like give him an honorary black belt. Like if you cross collar somebody on the street who not wearing a gi.
I'm Batman. Batman.
Retire. Go pro, retire, undefeated. Like, who you beat? I cross-collared nigga on the street
with a regular...
Hey, he didn't even have a collar grip. It was just like, it was a regular just t-shirt. But,
Cuz left with the bacon there. You know what
I mean? Speaking of growing up like boxing, wrestling, did you have a favorite boxer growing up?
I had favorite boxers.
Okay, give me. It don't have to be like in order, but give me like 3. Because I grew up boxing. I thought I was going to be a boxer before I thought I was going to be an MMA fighter. Right? Yeah. So give me 3, 4, 5. Give me some of your top fighters. Like it could be old, new, current.
Yeah. So I would say like during that time where I was like heavily involved in following the sport. Yeah. A lot has changed since then. But I would say obviously the household name for the Puerto Rican household was Miguel Cotto.
Miguel Cotto.
You have to bring him.
We're gonna circle back to that.
Right.
We're gonna circle back to that.
You just said Mayweather, obviously. Manny Pacquiao. if you go way back, Felix Trinidad. There was just so many people that had, and that era boxing between like 80s to early mid 2000s was nice, man.
It was lit.
That was a time.
Roy Jones.
Yeah, Roy Jones went crazy.
You still had like the ending era of Mike Tyson, because that's when I grew up in. But like you had Roy Jones, you had Bernard Hopkins,
right?
Felix
legend.
Trinidad. What is his name? Diego Corrales. Was it Corrales or Morales? It was two. It was one was Corrales and Morales. Dude, there was just. Even Zab Judah put on
every weight class was stacked.
Every
there was at least 5-6 fighters that were certified.
Like, yeah. I remember watching that because growing up, like you Puerto Rican, like my mom's Puerto Rican, my dad's black, and dude, Miguel Cotto.
That's a rivalry right there.
Yeah, I know it's a rivalry, bro. So I'll tell you a funny story about my dad, right? So like, he grew up. Like all my family's from New York, right?
Yeah.
And my dad. Hood nigga, bro. Right? And his grandparents, he had some Puerto Rican in his blood, like down the line as well. But like he had got locked up, and they told him, my dad is dark. He's really dark. All right, he black. They told him like he was like, hey man, I don't want to be a part of no. It was like, no, bro, you gotta pick a side. You either with us or you with them. And I'm like, you locked up in the 70s. You don't really have. This is a whole different era. So it was like, that's also a rivalry. People don't really talk about that. When you hear like talks of racism, the first thing that comes to mind, people think white versus black. Yeah. But I'm like, bro, there's racism amongst.
We all racist.
We all racist to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like somebody got to cut you off on the highway bad enough for your racism to come out.
You know what to say. You know the words.
I know what that. I'm like through the window. I saw what you said, and it ain't ninja.
Facts.
But that Miguel Cotto.
Yeah.
Like Mayweather had left. Pretty boy Floyd and started going into money weight Mayweather, and that fight against Miguel Cotto, I think that was the first time anybody saw Mayweather get hit and bleed. Like he got hit against other fighters when he was in the lower weight classes, but he was a dog. Yeah. And then as he realized, like, man, he's breaking his hands a lot.
He wasn't getting touched during that time.
He wasn't getting touched. Yeah. It's like, yo, if defense is winning, I'm gonna be defensive, right? And then we saw him not getting touched for a long time. And then Cotto was in there touching him. It's not that Cotto was winning, but I remember through the first 6, 7, 8 rounds of the fight, I was like...
I want to say he had Freddie Roach that time in his corner, no? Or he was...
I think he did. I don't remember.
I remember Freddie was hopping. He was with Manny. He was with...
He's with a couple people. Freddie's like one of them trainers is like, yo, if you get a chance to be with him, like...
So I think he came in with a different game plan that fight or something different because he switched up and he was able to reach Mayweather, which is different for sure.
Yeah, it was good. He turned... I like philosophy. I always like study fighters and things like that. Like the Tale of Jeet Kune Do, like by Bruce Lee, he talks about the benefits of being a fighter and then the benefits of being a technician. And he's like, both are each other's counter. So like if this guy's a brawler, this and there, you got to be technical. That's how you win that fight. Because the second that you turn into a brawler fighter, you're making it more in his favor. And if you're a person that's going up against a technical guy and you know he's technically better than you, you got to turn it into a dog fight. And so it was kind of that. They're both technicians, but Mayweather is the technician. And they're both a dog, but Cotto got to turn it into a dog fight in order for him to have any chance of winning. And as it was like round 6, 7, 8, I'm like, okay, Mayweather's like, he got blood? Like, what? Yo, what's going on? And so that was a really entertaining fight for me to watch when it comes to...
He got him up in the corner a few times.
Yeah, I was like,
it was different.
Mayweather was fighting him too. And like, I don't care what nobody say. Like, they're like, oh man, you running. I'll put you in a box and you can't hit me. Yeah. You look stupid, bro.
Yeah, he's the guy. Bro.
If you've never fought a high level striker, you really don't know what it's like to look and or feel stupid, to be throwing everything and hit.
Because he makes it look effortless, bro. He has the roll. He blocks from every, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot.
All right, let's not even go on Puerto Rican. Let's just say Hispanic. What fighter benefited the most from fighting Mayweather?
Yeah.
Who?
Miguel Cotto.
No. I'm talking about...
From fighting Mayweather?
Who do you think benefited the most, stylistically? Come on, bro. Come on. The audience is saying it.
I don't know, cause who fought?
Canelo.
Oh, I'm tripping.
Look, like you tripping. I'm like red hair. So after the Canelo fight.
Yeah.
Look at Canelo's whole style, bro. Elusive.
True.
Elusive.
Yeah.
He didn't just learn from the loss. He said, yo, I can't beat that. I got to learn that.
Yeah.
And he didn't just learn it. He mastered it. He became the next, great defensive counter fighter that could still drop you. Because, that's what people forget is, Canelo's still out there dropping dudes. And he's just moving up in weight. But, when he fought Jacobs, I'm talking about if you just look, you can look at defensive film of him. He'll be right in front of you, and you just can't hit him. He's rolling, he's throwing counters, he's baiting. When he knocked out Amir Khan, I was like, ooh. Everybody was knocking out Amir Khan, but
Amir was that guy too. He was he was fun to watch.
He was fun to watch,
and then he started getting knocked out. Yeah.
Hey, the chin is one of them things. It's not a bicep.
Yeah.
It's not a hamstring. Once you start getting hit on the chin, it don't hold up the same. It don't hold up the same. So we're gonna pivot a little bit, switch the beat up a little bit. Tell the people, because like I said, you special to me, because I know you, right? But the people don't know. What do you do?
So, you know me by cutting hair. You know what I mean? So I'm a full-time barber. I am someone who is a fan of all kinds of sports and athletics and stuff like that. So anything in that alley, I always gravitate towards those types of people, and that's kind of how we linked up and everything. I'm a father of 6 kids, so
you Puerto Rican, fuck, bro. I'm one of 8, so
the deal. Big family. It just happens.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about that. Father of 6, and you work for yourself, right?
Correct.
So you're a full-time barber. Not just full-time barber. Dude's a mobile barber. Did that happen because of COVID or something you did before? Can you give us a little aspect of okay, I know people who have no kids. They out of shape, they have a regular job, and then they look to me to kind of pacify them and give them advice on how to get in shape. And I'm like, here's a dude who runs his own business, who has 6 kids and a wife. And a wife, right? Ladies, stay out of his DMs, right? All right. So he's got a wife, 6 kids, his own business. Do you sleep, nigga?
A little bit.
Yeah,
how
you lift that much weight? How you got time to do these things? If you could paint the picture, let's call it in 5 minutes or less. Before you had 6 kids, if you could see yourself back then and say, hey, in 10 years, you're going to have 6 kids, your own business, this, that, and the third. You ain't got to give people all the details, but how do you even manage that? I got 70 kids, but I get to return them every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I get to give them back. How do you manage that balance? Because I think that's what everybody's always looking for is balance. You a workaholic because you always working.
Yeah,
my dude. But I always see you with your family too. So how can you
just be intentional with your time, bro? Everything that you do is be intentional. If you want anything in life, you will go do that thing. So the choices that we make are what we are, choosing to do. Yeah. So if you want to work at a job, if you want to make an excuse for not going to if you want to, you're gonna make that choice. So for me, it's I know I need to make time for my wife. I know I need to make time for all my children and be there for before I came here, I was at my daughter's chorus concert. You know what I mean?
I know.
So it's and then I worked all day before. So
I hit you up. I was like, hey, can you make it tomorrow at 7:30? Yeah. He's like, well, I got a chorus, I got this, I was like, if you can't, it's all good. But he was
went to the gym today. I did everything that I was supposed to, but it was all intentional.
Yeah,
it was a choice.
Being intentional with your time, not just showing up and being there, but
I'm not letting other things dictate my day either. So it's a lot of people, we let our job dictate our day. So it's you plan your whole day around your work schedule. Just crazy to me. Right? So you choose work, and then your time is after anything outside of that space, which it's tough. I mean,
so being I really don't like trigger words. Because they do what they're supposed to do. They get under your skin, right? Yeah. But everybody nowadays, if you got an Instagram bio, there's a link in my bio. I'm an entrepreneur. If you got an OnlyFans, you're an entrepreneur. No, you're not. No, you're not, right?
I respect anybody selling anything.
I respect anybody selling anything.
Not people.
Right? Not I'm gonna leave that in there. I agree with you. Yeah. So like, it sounds good to say I'm an entrepreneur, I own my own business, but you just explained the life of a father of 6 and a husband, right? And being intentional with your time, still coming and working out with fucking crazy lunatics like me and Lathan and James doing kettlebell workouts. He was like, "Oh, I did a 4x12." I was like, "Oh, what was you squatting?" He's like, "Oh, 405." I was like, "For 12, dude, that's 3 of me." What the fuck? Like,
for no reason.
For no reason, just like I wanted to hurt today. Yeah. You do an ice bath tomorrow? I get up at 7 a.m. to do an ice bath. So it's like
in the winter.
In the winter time, right? So and you big as fuck. I got a small ice bath, nigga. You be in that shit like this, right? But to continue to like talk about like intentional, like with your business, like how do you get to a point to where you're a barber and you can support a family of 6, a wife, and you said people look at their work and then they schedule their life around it. Now your work is kind of your life, your passion, and also what like provides for your family. Like, how did you get to that point? Because I don't know. All right, I don't think the people know. I think it'd be a lot of people out there where they think that their job dictates what they can do. Yeah. Or they think, oh, because I have kids, I can't do these things. But like, the proof is in the pudding, right? If you just don't sleep, you can do it.
If you don't sleep,
you can do it. All right, so like, people,
that's another thing. You have 24 hours. Do what you will. You know, I think at minimum, like if you could slide 6 hours, you're gonna be healthy. You know what I mean? And the rest of that time, do something. You know, you got
it's 18 hours.
That's a lot of time. So and just being intentional about it, making that choice to what am I going to do today? What is important to me, and structure your value. And sometimes, like I'm saying this now because it's something I've done over some time. But starting off, it's scary. It's hard. You don't know what to do. You're making all the sacrifices. You know what I mean? Like,
what was the biggest hurdle? Now that you're looking back, that you overcame.
All of it was a hurdle. Everything. It's literally uphill. Because think about it. I moved from across the country to come here, right? Mm-hmm. Which I've been here prior, so it's like I had some type of connection to roots here. Mm-hmm. But I moved away for some time, and I came back here as a single father, with a 1-year-old baby, right? So I can't just go do a regular job. Yeah. I have no income. I'm supposed to go put her in daycare. How? You know what I mean? Damn. So I picked up my clippers. I picked up what I knew. It's something that I've always done. So it's like, let me just figure this out. And I was happy to make $100 in a week. You know what I mean? Like if I could find a couple of people that let me cut their hair this week, I'll be straight. And my daughter was with me everywhere. Like, so she would sit there. I put the phone and I'll do my 30-minute haircut. We move on to the next location, and that was just how it all started. You know, before I met my wife, before we had everything to where it's like established now, where I have structure to the business. I learned through it all though, and I just made adaptations, and I just continue to follow the vision and believe. I literally said, I'm not working ever again. I've had jobs, bro. I've had a lot of jobs. You know what I mean? I sat down.
Puerto Ricans, I know.
I did it all, bro.
It's like they up there with Jamaicans and Mexicans, bro. It's like you can never just have one job, bro. Like,
bro, you do everything you can.
I think it's an immigrant mentality. Even you can be born here in the United States, right? And my grandmother is like native of Puerto Rico, and my dad's black, and so just like growing up, you see your parents do whatever it takes for $1, not so they can splurge, so you can eat rice and beans. Facts. Like, that's your splurge. Like, hey, you didn't have
you got dinner tonight.
You got dinner tonight, right? Like, you hear people talk about it, it's like, oh, okay, like, oh, you don't have heater? You turn the oven on and open the oven. That's how you stay warm. You know, them rinky-dinky ass heaters where, well, you can't touch it. It's too hot, but it's not giving off heat past 3 feet. So it's like there are a lot of like struggles that I think people. It sounds good going in business for yourself, and like you said, it was a lot of hurdles. That's something that I didn't even know. I didn't know like that was your start. I heard Lathan tell me, yeah, man, he cut my hair since before he was good at it, man. He just said, yo, let me cut you. I said, that's wild. Yeah. So like, you basically giving away your product for free.
I did that a lot, bro. To this day, I give away haircuts every month at least. It's a part of, I think that's a good principle to have in general for life. but also in business. When you give, you know what I'm saying? You get so much more in return, and you're gonna grow so much more from those things that you do instead of like, oh, how do I make the most money right now? Like just start, just do the right thing, be right by people, and you they'll respect that, man. Like I've had so many good opportunities come from me just going on a whim and just, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this out of love. Like I'm just, taking care of somebody.
And it's always crazy because the ones that you said being intentional. Mm-hmm. You're intentional with your heart and with your mind.
Yes, sir.
And the intent wasn't to reap any benefits or rewards monetarily or this, that, and the third. But that's what came on the back end.
Right.
And I always like to see it's people over profit. Mm-hmm. Right? If I step on you to go get $100 bill, you're going to remember me stepping on you for some fucking money.
Right.
And it's like, if I'm like, nah, Coqui, like, let me lift you up to go get it, you're going to remember that forever.
Facts.
And it's like, I'm asking you to give you a haircut. I'm like, yeah, I normally pay for it. Yeah. And that's something that I do with my coaching business. I do like online health and fitness coaching. I do private training in the gym. I do all these different aspects of life. These little aspects of coaching, like in different areas of life. And one thing I learned from marketing, like I read a lot of books and stuff like that, and it don't mean nothing to just have all this knowledge hoarded in your head if you don't go apply it. Right. And it's like, give people, if you truly believe in your product, give it away.
Yeah.
Because people appreciate free shit, right? It makes them feel good. And the old saying that people might not remember your name, but they'll remember how you make them feel. Mm-hmm. And then now you're just like that glooming, like little like spotlight. Man, what's that guy, man? Every time he come around, he's smiling. I want to do to give the free haircuts, right? Free haircuts. Like, what's his name? Coqui? Oh, shit. Yeah. And it's like, one person can literally make or break your business.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's like you going out and doing that kind of laid down the groundwork. And even though you're in a more successful position now, you're still doing it. Yeah. Because why you talking to this girl the whole time, so when you get to the dance, you can dance with another girl. It's like, yo, that's what got you to the dance, dog. You about to lose your wife right here for sexy Jessica. Like, you know, she don't even know who you are, right? Like, it's like, do what got you to the dance. And I think that's where like this revolving circle is like, people want to get to a successful business so they can stop working. It's like, well, working is what made your business successful.
Fact.
So how are you gonna just, I'm not working. So you want to work hard as fuck so you can be lazy? That just don't make sense to me. That don't make sense to me.
Right.
And I read a book. I'll post it. That's not my book recommendation for today, or maybe it should be. But it's called Ikigai. It's the Japanese way of life on how to live a long, healthy, happy, purposeful life. Finding your meaning, what the world needs, what you're good at, what your passion. And
it's like that diagram.
Yes, right? The diagram. Yeah. So it's like, hey, what the world needs, your career, your passion, what you're good at, and when you can fit it all into one, it becomes that.
Yes, yep.
And
your purpose or something.
Yeah, your purpose. So it's like people get that confused with, once I find my purpose or my passion, like, no, you have to work twice as hard.
Facts.
I was like, I said, you know what's easy? A 9 to 5. What? Yeah. Somebody told me when to get up. Somebody told me where to be. Somebody told me what to do. You know what's hard? When you go into business for yourself like you did, and that alarm clock go off.
It doesn't matter how many hours you work. You're going to get paid a proportion to what you do.
Like. Exactly. So if you don't get up early, you ain't going, early bird don't catch the worm, right? Shit, you slept in because today you was a little bit more tired because of your workout. And you're like, man, I'm going to get that client next week. Or, that person was supposed to pay me. It's like, nah, like you doing it all wrong. It's really, and people, and I've come to the realization that I'm not like other people. And I don't say that to be like flashier, this, that, and the third. Lathan helped me out with that. It was my best friend, also my head coach. My mom helped me out with that, and my cousin and 2 of my other best friends helped me out with that. It was like, bro, you gotta stop thinking people think like you, because I'm like, why don't you just work hard?
Just do it.
We all work in the same area. Yeah. If we all work hard, this will be really easy and fun.
Yeah.
Like, how can you be this lazy to just walk past the trash, do this, and it misses, and you just keep walking? You don't care. You didn't even care enough to see if it went in. And then I'm behind you like, hey, man. And then I got to do this behind you. It's like, bruh, So it's so easy to go work for someone else and do that. I'm like, hey, I had to realize that I don't have the same standards as other people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're not the same. So when people complain to me that, oh, my job is hard, it might be difficult, it might be stressful, but life is hard. Mm-hmm. You think being in business for yourself is easy? Hell nah. Bro. You go from a 9 to 5 to a 24/7. Because when they call, you better be there. Otherwise, you don't get paid.
I've cut hair at all hours of the night before, bro. Like, you do what you have to do in those seasons, you know. And I know you said it's like easy. I think both are hard.
They're both hard.
Because that's hard to get up every day to go get told what to do for $9 an hour. You know what I mean? And you deal with so many issues and problems just to barely make it. Like, it sucks. It sucks.
Trigger warning. This literally makes me think about ending it all. Like, going back to a 9 to 5. All the broken bones, the hundreds of hours I've read books, the courses I've taken, the 5, 6, 7 certifications, the 13 years in martial arts, the pro fights, all the sacrifice of blood, to go work for someone for 9. If I don't kill myself, I'm gonna kill them. I can't. Because
I might as well work for free at that point.
Bro, people get power trips over $9 an hour. Yeah. I'm working on the hardest. Hey, I say do it like this. I'm like, hey, bro, you better chill out because what I did before I got here, I'll body bag your ass, dog.
Right, you have no
idea. You think you could do that? You know what? I do. I quit. What do you want to do about it, right? I worked for a pretty big corporation, Ritz-Carlton, and I remember I'm a save the names that way, you know, no one's implicated. But I worked with a guy who worked at this place longer than I did. And he left, and then he came back, and we had a new manager and supervisor on staff who was really cool. And he actually was one of the people that could toe the line of being cool enough with the staff without being friends, so it didn't muddy the work relationship. As far as I was concerned. Maybe it was on another end, but all I know is what I experienced, right? And he came with one of the guy that came back, and people would treat the guy that came back like shit. And I'm like, the dude has more experience than all of you guys. He's the nicest guy. He always wants to help out, and you're only gonna poke somebody so long before they clap back. And he started clapping back. And we're in corporate world, so you gotta be careful what you say, because you get written up, you go to HR, all this stuff. And one day, the manager is just joking around. He was like, let's call this person John. He's like, hey, John, go do this stuff. He was like, no. And it's like, bro, I'm your supervisor, man. Go do this stuff. He was like, no. That's so-and-so. He's like, bro, you don't really have a choice. And it was still like playful banter, but you could tell that John had
meant that shit.
He meant it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, bro, you got to go do the stuff, man. Like, you don't have a choice. And he looked him square in his face. He said, I left this job once before. I'll do it again. There's always a choice. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
Where do I quit?
I'm with him.
I do it right now. I'm with him, bro. But he meant it. He was like, yo, I left this place once before. Right. And I do it again. And 50 Cent talks about that in this book right here, The 50th Law with Robert Greene, one of my favorite musician, artists, rappers, and then one of my favorite authors.
He motivates the mess out of me, bro.
Bruh, he's so
always
hilarious.
has. Yeah.
You saw the little clips of him on the Flagrant podcast, talking about Diddy. So I've been telling y'all for years. Now your ass cheeks hurt now, and everybody mad at me. But no, he talks about like the fear of walking away. People are literally afraid of letting go. Yeah. Like, I don't want to walk away. I was reading that book during when COVID happened, and I had some crazy decisions to make. And literally reading that book, I was like, that's fear, dog. Like, leave. And I left. I left Milledgeville. I sold the business back, the rest of the equity that I had in the business back to my mom, because we opened a business together. But I was afraid if I left, maybe the business would go under because I'm not there helping my mom. But that was her dream. Right. And if I build her dream up, then I'm going to lose my dream. So I had to help to a certain extent, and then realize like I'm hurting myself. Yeah. So I got to cut the umbilical cord, boom, let her have that. I left another gym. Everything was closed down. And I said, I'm going to move to Warner Robins because they said they're going to give me an opportunity. I said, ain't no fear, let it go. And it's crazy. When I did that, I felt like I lost 20 pounds, dog. Like, I was like, because it was nothing to hold on. I was like, that's it, I'm gone. Once you make the decision, that's it. I tell people, the decision is easy. It's already in your head. It's struggling with if you want to stay or if you want to leave or not, you know? So like I made some pretty crazy, risky decisions and we all have our own little violin sob story and stuff like that. But nobody cares about that story until you win it.
Facts.
And you win it, my boy.
Facts.
You win it.
You gotta make it.
Make it. All right, we could do this forever, but I did want to do a couple things.
Do questions.
A couple of I have a couple of IG questions. I told some people that they submit some questions on Instagram. I would read the questions live as well as give them a shout out, and I want to do that because I'm fucking long-winded, and if I don't get into it now, it ain't gonna happen. So this is from Just Tav. All right, JUSSTAVV. Go add Just Tav on Instagram, all right? What keeps you up at night? Is it fear, aspirations, pleasure, or distractions? I thought that was a really, really great question.
I like the multiple choice.
Because it's multiple choice, right? Because are we always feeling the same thing all the time? Nah. Never. So what kept me up yesterday might not keep me up today. And
I've been kept up by all of those things.
Every last one of those. And all those keep me up. And to get into it a little bit deeper, like one of my biggest fears is being average. And an average person will not understand what that means. One of my favorite speakers, Eric Thomas, says, winners win and losers lose. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's because you're probably a loser. That's it. That's the end of it. There is no, it's for me to explain to an average person, and I don't have nothing against average because you need average in order to stand out, right? Sure. You need that, right? There has to be a buffer between the worst and the best. People think balance is with two. No, you need a fulcrum. You need a middle
full
ground.
Spectrum of everything.
Right? A full spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. So, literally, the nightmares that I have are not of monsters. I do not fear monsters.
You woke up normal.
They're not of men. I have nightmares of regular, everyday shit, and it literally scares me. I'm like, I can't go back to that 9 to 5.
Right.
Like I can't do that. Or
hi, I'm normal.
It could be like a friendship that I valued, and I realized that we just growing apart, and I still have dreams about this person, and I'm just like, yeah, I care for you, but I can't be with you, man. Yeah. I can't be with you, bro. We were like this, but I can't fight my demons and your demons.
Right.
So I gotta let you go. Cause some people here for a reason, some people here for a season. And it's like, you were here for a season in my life. But we grew up together. No, we was 8.
Yeah.
I'm fucking 33. We was 8. What are you talking about? I knew you when we were in Section 8. I'm never trying to go back to Section 8. Ever.
At all.
Right? Yeah. So those kind of things literally fucking scare me. Settling down. I hate when women. I hate that word. Because I think of a cup of water, and when someone says, I want to settle down, I think of dirt, settlement at the bottom of a cup. I'm like, I never want to do that. I want to level up. You're a perfect example. You have a family. You have multiple children. You're self-employed. You still find a way to give back. You sponsored me for one of my fights and showed up in Arizona. I was like, oh shit, he cut me. He cut my cousin. He cut all my cornermen, my coaches. He cut everybody. Mm-hmm. And then you made some connections while you was out there. It was like, yo, he didn't just sponsor
to a random person.
He didn't just sponsor me like, oh, I'm gonna put you on my banner. He paid me.
Fact.
Because it would be disrespectful to my other sponsors who pay me to let somebody get my services for free. And he was like, hey man, I can't do that price. So we bartered. He was like, can I give you this and do X amount of haircuts and do this, that? I was like, bet, say less. I'm not unreasonable. And if I see somebody else working hard for themselves, I want to work hard for that person too. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like the fear that keeps me up at night is the fear of average. And then some nights I can't go to sleep because you see all the stuff that's in here. Tej saw it before you got here. There are Post-its and things everywhere. I literally can't, if I keep it in my head, I can't sleep. I can't cut my brain off. And you hear David Goggins talk about it like, hey, at the end of the night, even if there's another person in that bed with you, only you are with you inside here. So you know what's keeping you up. They go, hey, baby, what's wrong? Or whatever. It's like, yo, I go to bed at night, it's just me in my bed. And now it's just me in this queen size bed with my head, right? So it's like, what are you thinking? Sometimes my aspirations. I remember after I had my first back surgery, before I ever had any competition experience, I'm in bed rest. And I was like, man, I'm going to fight MMA. I can't even walk. I got a morphine drip. I'm like, I'm going to fight MMA. Doctors told me that I'm not going to walk straight. I'm going to show them that I'm just not going to walk straight. I'm going to be a professional athlete doing probably the worst thing you can do besides walk is somebody trying to break your legs, right? So why not? Just as the fuck you to them, I'm going to do that. And then I started listening to Kobe Bryant and Eric Thomas, and I was like listening to these things, and I was up at night, and I was literally like daydreaming on how great I'm going to be, my aspirations. And I made that vision board in 2015. I'll eventually get a video of you guys and pan out and show you what it looks like. And it's crazy because the second things go wrong, people change their vision. It's like, yo, if me and you had an event to go to in Atlanta, that's the destination, right? It's raining. Do we say, oh, we're not going to go? Nah. The rain ain't going to stop the car. Oh, there's an accident on I-75. Cool, we just take an alternate route. But what happens is when people invest in themselves, the first time they run into resistance, they change their vision. And then they wonder why they're not getting any traction. It's because you keep switching what you want to do. Boredom, that's another fear. People are afraid to be great at things because you're afraid to be bored with something. How do you get good? How do you master something if you can't stick with it? And you think you're going to enjoy it every single day? You think I enjoy going to the gym, training every single day? Hell no. But I do it, and now I'm a master at it. So my fears, aspirations, pleasures. Fighting, y'all. We'll just get into this real quick. The training isn't the hardest part. It's not. I'm crazy. I like to train. The diet, the nutrition, saying no to the women, saying no to your friends, not hanging out with your family. Muhammad Ali said this in an interview way back in the day. He's like, I'm pretty. I'm this. Yeah, it's training is easy. It's going to bed early. And it's telling the women, no, I can't hang out with you tonight. It's like, yeah, all the things that you find pleasurable, you now have to lock in because it's another dude who wants to make you a highlight reel in front of your family. If he decapitates you, he goes viral. And if this was back in the Viking days, it was one lamb and his family eats and your family dies. And that's how we think of it going in. So the pleasure, when you've been so disciplined for so long, that one piece of cheesecake tastes like ecstasy, right? That time you get to spend with your family, you're like, oh my God, I've missed you guys, all the love, all of this, right? It could be with your girl, it could be whatever. Like fighters like Khalil Roundtree has a whole family in New York. When he goes to train, he leaves for training camps and goes to Vegas for 8 weeks. You don't think he'll feel more comfortable after every hard training session? He can sit with his wife. His wife can comfort him and he can be there with his kids. No, he's in kill mode. And I tell people when I'm in kill mode, I can't be around certain people, even my family. They know when it's wake up week and my mom is braiding my hair and stuff like that, I'm quiet. They like.
I got to see that firsthand. That was different. You definitely
on the last fight.
Yeah, when I came to cut your hair, like the day of because I saw you the week before. Yeah. You were still cool.
That was before I cut 15 pounds in 3 days.
You were different. You were locked in. You were zoned. You didn't speak much. You weren't smiling. There was no joke, and you were really like focused.
And that doesn't mean I don't enjoy the moment. That's just the level of seriousness that I take it.
Very serious. Yeah.
I've dedicated my whole fucking life to this. I've sacrificed blood, sweat, tears, money, relationships, things. I've sacrificed my sanity.
Yeah.
You know what it's like? I really like women, dog. You know what it's like for me to sign a contract and for 3 months straight, I got to think of your funky ass while I'm laying down. I'm thinking of some dude, I'm going to fight this guy. Bro, that's fucking psychotic, bro. Why'd I agree to this, right? So, and then distractions. Yeah, sometimes distractions keep me up at night. I'll doom scroll on Instagram and all this other stuff because the second that I wake up, I take like maybe 30 minutes to myself, my ice bath, my gratitude journal, my little 5-minute prayer / meditation. I listen to whatever music I'm in the zone just to kind of get me going, and then make my bed, do all my little morning routine. I do that, and then as soon as I get up and I go teach, train, or whatever, I'm on 100 miles an hour. I run my own business. I have my own podcast. I'm a full-time martial artist. I teach, I train youth, I train adult, I do private coaching. So it's like, I might not have the 6 kids, but I got 6 kids. They just other babies that I'm working on and stuff like that. So like, I know that struggle. And just to kind of wrap it up, Taff, because I told you it would be a long, very in-depth answer. That's what keeps me up at night.
He chose all the answers.
Everything. It all keeps me up. And a lot of times we want to pinpoint one thing, but we're very complex. We're like the only animal on the planet that uses this, like our consciousness to our capacity. It's like a lion, they kill to eat. They don't kill and then make a refrigerator whole food. Right. They don't care about what the penguins are doing in North Pole. Right? But us as humans, what are they doing in Italy? Ooh, what's the new trend? It's like, bro. Right? So all this keeps me up at night, and it's about managing this because you can't ignore this stuff. I'm not a monk. I'm not going in the mountain anytime soon that I know of. If I do, I'll let y'all know the last episode.
I can see it.
Shoot. All right? But, and then that will go off to J Ellis _fit. He said, not who, but what is your biggest enemy or foe? It has been, always will be me. At the end of the day, all that stuff that I named in the previous one, in the previous question, I am my own worst enemy and I am my greatest critic. You said something when you were describing yourself like holding your baby, going, doing the cut, setting it up. It's like, you got to believe. And I shout out to Mr. Organic. He don't know me. Real famous Instagram personality, right? YouTuber. He said, yo, you got to believe in yourself the way you believe in God. And I remember times where I'm down and out and I'm like, I don't even believe I exist right now, dog. Like, it's hard to believe. You remember the conversation we had where I was like, bro, I'm having an existential crisis.
Yeah.
And I said, I need to write this book. And you and Lathan were right there. He's like, well, what is it about? And I painted you guys the picture was in my head. And you said, what the fuck is going on, bro? I said, I don't even know if any of this is real.
Yeah.
But it's in my head. Yeah. So if I believe that, then it's not real. And if I don't believe it, then it's not real. It's like, whatever you believe will be true because we're masters as humans as connecting things. So if I believe that every struggle makes me stronger, when a struggle presents itself, I want to attack it. But if I believe, I hate when people do this. Oh, the devil's testing me today. Oh, Lord, thank you. It's like, bro, you got a flat tire. Fix the shit and go to work. Like, what the devil's testing you today? You know he's not. So what about you? Give us some insight on, if the answer is the same, give us some insight on how you are your biggest foe and how you overcome yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's always.
That is something, we are carnal beings. We battle the flesh, we battle ourselves, we battle our thoughts. Like you said, we battle the decision to do the right thing or to make the comfortable decision or to do it like. So you will become what you think, you will become what you believe, you will be the end result comes from all the actions you put out. So making selfish decisions or making decisions that don't align with your goal, you're killing yourself. You're your enemy. You're the only person stopping you. Only you can stop you. Only you can propel you. You know what I mean? Like
that's big. I don't think people understand. It's like, hey, you want to get to where you're going, get out your own way. Right. But nobody gonna move you but you. You got to do it.
Even if something gets in your way or somebody discourages you, you make the decision to believe it. You make the decision to let it stop you.
Yeah.
You know? Everything will be what you allow it. And
I fucks with that. All right. So I combined these two, just like I combined those two, since I said 3 questions. These are 4, but they're pretty much all together. So we'll count this a total of 3. All right. Chris _dedicated. All right. CHRIS _ dedicated. DEDICATED. He said, shout out to Chris as well, because I'm a head coach at Rush MMA, and Jeffrey Henderson fought for the first time, and that was his opponent. And he was so respectful. He was like, he came over during, like, before the fight, the day of the fight. He was like, hey, man, I don't want to be all cringy just standing over there like me mug. I just want to introduce myself. I thank you guys for taking the fight, or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, yo, that was mad respectful. Whatever. So they ended up fought. It was a great fight. Chris, you're not 6'2". He like 6'7". Bro, because Jeff is like 6'2". And he was like that, man. I said, bro, why you gonna lie on your little papers? And he just started laughing. But good dude. Go follow him. His name is Chris Dedicated. So I'm assuming that he has some kind of dedication to martial arts, fitness, or something like that. So he asked, why did you start training? And is your reason fundamentally still the same? So when I first started training, I didn't know what the reason was. I just knew that it sparked something inside me. And I always wanted to know how to defend myself because I'm not big. I'm 5'7", 157 at max right now. So I'm a high end. I get to like 162. And I'm one of 8. Dog, my older sisters beat me up, older brothers, cousins, everybody put their hands on me growing up. So it was like, yo, I gotta know how to do something. And then my dad always like, yo, you smaller, you gotta learn how to like throw your hands, or if they grab you, you gotta get out of something. So like that, when you grow up in the city, I was raised in Georgia, but I was born in Brooklyn and then moved to Philly. So like I watched my sister throw hands on the block against a guy, right? So I'm like, that's regular ass city living, bro. That's like, yo, you gotta know how to throw it. Like you gotta know how to do it, right? Watch my older brother. Shout out to Mean Guns, that boy. Amin is like, bro, we like this, man. And like he was the older brother growing up that he could have been a boxer. He got hands like but he can throw. It's a Philly thing, and if anytime somebody got on the line on the block and we couldn't handle it, you go get Amin. Amin gonna come through, and they go, oh, Amin coming down the block. Like, you know what's up.
Debo.
Hey, Debo. Amin's about my size, though. He might be a little bit bigger than me. It's just like, yo, it's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's the fight in the dog, right? So, my initial reason for training is I want to learn how to defend myself. And once you're out of college, sports provide a lot of things. Discipline, character, just structure for men, especially. Men need something rugged. We need something physical. And it's like, yo, if you're not going to be the top 1% going to the NBA, the NFL, the whatever, then it's like, yo, there's no really outlet like that. So when I jumped into a jiu-jitsu gym, I was like, okay, I was looking for boxing. I started doing some boxing training. Somebody told me they had kickboxing, so I went to kickboxing, got tricked to do jiu-jitsu. I started doing jiu-jitsu. I got tapped out by a chick. She threw a triangle upon me. She was a blue belt. And I'm like, yo, I'm a 23-year-old man. I just got tapped out. And I didn't look at it as a bad thing. I looked at it like, I need to know what they know.
Right, she knows something.
She knows something, and I need to know it. Because blue ain't that far on that list that I see on the wall. So I can get there and start tapping folks out, right? So fundamentally, I was searching for myself and self-improvement. And that will go to the second question, to sunflower beauty. Sunflower beauty, all right? Sunflower beauty. Spell it out. Don't be lazy. _2001. How did MMA make you a better person? So that will kind of go with what Chris asked me. It's like, is the reason for training like fundamentally still the same? And when I found out that, martial arts and fighting is just like life. You're always going to be fighting some kind of battle. And at the end of the day, the mats don't lie. The work that you put in doesn't lie. So as long as you keep working, you'll continue to progress. So I was chasing I still am chasing this never-ending progression. I'm like, I'm going to try to progress to the day that I die. And then when my body can't do it, I'm going to do it with my mind. When my mind can't do it, I'm going to do it with my spirit. And then when they all go, I have to figure it out on the next plane. So fundamentally, it has remained the same. You know, my goal is just to progressively get better. I'm just now figuring out how to use everything I did in fighting in the real world. Like, this business shit is literally just a training camp. It's literally just my fight career. Or this coaching stuff is literally just this. And it's like, now that I'm learning how to put the pieces into play, I want to continue this self-improvement on every level, not just martial arts, high skill fighter. I want to be a high skilled instructor. I want to be a high skilled entrepreneur. I want to be a high skilled coach. I want to be highly skilled at everything. I don't think I can do that before I die. So this life is going to be great because I'll never be bored. Right? And that's kind of like my reason for starting martial arts, and fundamentally it has still stayed the same. That will be it for the questions. We are going to get to wrap it up here shortly, but I do want to finish on 2 notes. I'm going to do a book recommendation, as you guys see here. These are a small amount of books that I've read over the years, but this is the one book that just opened up the dam for me. And it was given to me by a mentor. I was in a network marketing business, and it was a mentorship business. And the things that I learned are invaluable because like networking has gotten me a lot farther than my ability to work hard. And this book was gifted to me. And this is my favorite book of all time. It's called The Instant Millionaire by Mark Fisher, a tale of wisdom and wealth. And bro, you could read this book in a day. And I leave notes in everything because I'm a note taker. It helps me remember. The words aren't that big. It's only like 120 pages. And I remember reading this book, and the way it ended, I was like, and I was like, literally changed my life. After I read this book, I got a piece of paper, and I just started literally just like brain dumping. I'm going to do this and this. And I was like, I hated reading in school because like it's forced. And I'm like, I don't care about a date or history or none of this stuff. And then now that I'm older, I'm like, what date did this happen? What is it? It's like there are times in your life where you'll gravitate towards the things that you need to know and or want to know or put the effort towards it, like you said. And I'm like, this book literally like set off like an explosion, like a DNA explosion in my head. And it just broke the dam. And I was like, I want to know more. So I have this whole, now I have a whole library, right? I have a whole library. And I've read the majority of the books. But I come to a point to where I'm like, okay, you don't need to just be a knowledge hoarder. You need to go apply it. Yeah. So now that's what I do. I read a book and I do my best to apply it. So it's not about how much you read. It's about what you're doing with the knowledge that you intake. But when I first started, I had to build a habit. So I was like, I'm going to read every single day. Part of our mentorship group, we had to do 3 things. Had to read minimum 10 minutes a day. You had to listen to some kind of positive audio 10 minutes a day. And then the other portion of that was you have to go talk to 3 random people. So build communication skills. That shit changed my life. That changed my life. This book, though, implementing those skills every single day. You had to do it every single day. If you didn't do it, don't show up to the business meeting on the once a month because you didn't do the work for you. This is your business, not mine. So, Instant Millionaire by Mark Fisher. Go get that. All right. Last thing. Quick, we're going to finish with like a quick fire questions. Overrated or underrated? All right, you ready? We're going to try to do like a 60-second shot clock, all right? Tick, 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 tick. First thing that come to your mind, all right? Overrated or underrated? Makeup.
Under.
Overrated. It's overrated. Most of y'all don't even look like the makeup y'all putting on. Overrated or underrated? Haircuts.
Underrated, man.
Underrated.
That's a game changer. Change your life.
Change your life.
You feel different. You look different. The things that happen to you after your haircut are different.
Bruh, I told someone, I said, beard and haircuts are like makeup for men.
Facts, bro.
All right?
It is.
All right. Overrated or underrated? Wearing business attire.
Now I would say it's overrated.
Now it's overrated? Why?
It used to be, I think the image changed. Now people are allowed to be themselves. Now you're allowed to have tattoos. Now you're allowed to have your hair in whatever fashion. Okay. You're allowed to have facial. Before, those were all like taboo. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So, and I think authenticity and now is more appreciated than you trying to look like the
standard.
Yeah.
I like that. Overrated. All right. Overrated or underrated? Last one. BBLs.
I wouldn't know.
Pass. Overrated. All right. Natural. Come on, man. You can build it. You can build it.
Facts.
I didn't know that when you get it, you still got to work out. I said, what's the point of getting it in the first place? And in 10 years, you got to get it flipped and adjusted. I said, hell nah. All right. As a dude, when I get up and go, all right, we good. And then every couple weeks, hey, Coqui, I need that haircut. But that's it. That's episode 1 of Talking to the Moon. I appreciate you for coming in and being the guest. Coqui, shout out your Instagram, where people can reach you. Mobile Barber. I've seen this dude in Arizona, South Carolina, Florida, Puerto Rico.
Yes, sir.
Bro, everywhere.
Anywhere on this planet, I will cut your hair. Hit me up. Coqui El Barbero on all platforms.
I'll tag him in this, and he'll be on my Instagram post and all that good stuff. All right. So I appreciate you for this. All right. We are checking out. Till next time on the Moon Show.